Okay, we're ready. All right, so the highlights, Renee, the highlights are the roof was installed in '95 and the shingles are about 20. So at about 20 years, you have to start thinking about the possibility of when they start to give you a problem, having them replaced. The insurance aspect of it is a big one too, because when you go to get insurance, sometimes it's difficult or they charge a little more. They may even do a contingency or something. You got to replace the roof in a year or two, whatever it is. But just go in knowing you have a roof that's about 20 years old. With that being said, there's a bunch of minor things on the roof that need, if you're going to keep this roof for a little while, need to be serviced. You know, damaged shingles, missing granulars, exposed nail heads, things that I typically find in almost any roof of any age. Only when you have a roof that's older, it magnifies it a little because you'll have to pay someone to do that maintenance, and they're going to see the condition of the roof and they're probably going to mention to you what I'm telling you now. So when they say it to you, you can trust what they're saying because it's a fact. It's an older roof.
Okay.
The roof deck is good. There doesn't seem to be any real active conditions present in the attic. The only condition I had was a dryer vent that needs to be serviced because I see a bunch of lint in the attic, and that's another thing people forget about all the time is where the dryer terminates at. So you want to have that cleaned out before you have your tenants use the dryer because you don't want the lint to continue to go into the attic space.
Okay.
Home is on a septic system, which you're aware of. It's in the front yard. Water comes in at the front wall. There's a main shutoff valve there. That looks good. The distribution material in the house with plumbing is copper. We have several areas where there's obvious leaking conditions and some question marks as to where the water is coming from. For that, you're going to need to do in baby steps to try and diagnose what the problem is and then find and locate what to repair. All we can identify at this point are the conditions that are present or located in the hallway bathroom and the laundry closet area where there's a puddle of water at the water heater. I suspect it's the water heater, but we can't conclude it because also in that location is the water supply for the tub and the toilet and the drainage, and the wall is wet on both sides, the bathroom side and the other side. So with that being said, we have to assume the leak is somewhere in the vicinity, all right?
Okay.
Second one is the wood floors in the hallway bedroom here on the south side. Those are all buckling. There's only a couple of things it could be. Either the slab is wet from the leaking conditions that we have throughout the house, and that wetness is transmitting or ending up showing up in the wood floors because the moisture level is higher underneath. That's one possibility. Possibility number two is the air conditioner is here, and I suppose there could be a leak in the condensation line somewhere between here and the back. That's always possible too. Hard to say. It has a float switch on the air handler, and I checked it, and there's no water in the reservoir, meaning that it's not backing up. But it's possible that something could be leaking, so that would be one other possibility that I can think of. Other than that, once the leaking conditions are stopped, the floor is going to probably be taken up because there is a damp odor there, and I suspect that there's mold present in the materials. I think it's isolated right now, and it could be dealt with pretty simple, just to get rid of the materials that are affected.
Okay.
In the master bedroom, we have a situation where I think that the bathroom itself probably should be remodeled. You've got a tub that's in poor condition. You've got flooring that's been taken up. You've got active moisture and leaking conditions in there. Those are all things that you can do during the process if you go into remodel, when you remodel. You could try to do it beforehand and make it livable until you save up the money to remodel. It depends on your plans. But if it were me, I'd be looking at just yanking it and redoing it so that the problem is gone. Especially if it's a rental property, because you're dealing with a situation where you will not physically have your eyes on that property every day. So you'd want to control the environment to the best of your ability. The electrical system checked out well. I have a minor list of items that we usually have, like a loose outlet in the living room, loose wiring at one of the outlets in the kitchen. Those are the things we're used to finding. A 220 dryer receptacle that's loose. I think that those are all very easily repaired. The air conditioning system is actually the highlight of the inspection as far as like if you're looking for really good news. That is good news. It's 2007, performing well, installed just fine. The things that I have listed for repairs are just typical things. A condenser unit isn't hurricane bracketed down to this concrete, and I think there's some insulation at a suction line that needs to be taped up. But performance-wise, really good. No outstanding conditions. Ductwork, with the exception of one over the master bedroom, is fine. Construction-wise, I've got typical settlement cracks in areas at the building, like by the front door, by the front window. The problematic crack that I have at the petition wall, I don't really believe that's a structural thing for the building. That's just for your eyes. You already see it. You see the big crack at the structural petition wall there on the left side.
Okay.
You can probably just have a concrete person just fill it and repair it, because it's not related to the building, but it's to the left. I'm not sure if it's their wall, your wall, both person's wall, I don't know. But I didn't want you to think I walked by it, because it would make me look pretty stupid if I didn't see it. Okay. So I photographed that area so you'd have it. So I think the building looks good, and I think with with a plan and moving forward, I think that as long as you plan strategically, there's no reason this can't be a good investment property for many years for you.
Okay,
Okay?
perfect. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.